about? Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Big red lips and long blonde hair. Like the way you walk when you walk over there. Boom. All right. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report for a Monday. It is October 17th. Hope you having yourself a good start to your Cash Out Monday. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you're using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by your friends at bullpenpicks.com. Sign up for baseball playoffs and follow the top baseball pickers right here at bullpenpicks.com. Also, hockeypicks.com. What a weekend some of our top pickers had. Yours truly, Ron Raymond, had a pretty good weekend on Saturday. In fact, I think I went like 11-3 with my NHL picks this Saturday in the National Hockey League. We had the day off yesterday. The Gary Bettman circuit gave us the day off yesterday to enjoy some NFL football. But hopefully you guys are signing up and you're following the top pickers each and every day right here at hockeypicks.com. In fact, when you go a perfect 4-0 like a couple of us did on Friday night, you pick up your first mini Stanley Cup, and the more Stanley Cups you get, the more you get in the top pickers range, and you can follow the top pickers each and every day right here at hockeypicks.com. There's 9 NHL games tonight, and we will talk about those games in the Raymond Report today. Also, tomorrow you got basketball starting, NBA basketball, and now is the time to sign up to follow the best basketball pickers right here at bballpicks.com. And the World Series of Handicapping season number 11 is still underway. In fact, we'll look at our leaders this weekend. There's Colby Ryan W, still our leader, but not by much. His lead has evaporated. And there's you know what, Steel City Madman, the champ from a couple of years ago. In fact, let me go to our past winners page, and Steel City Madman, he was the winner in there. Where is he? There he is, right there. Yeah, the Lynn. No, where is? There he is. There's Frank Browning, our winner number 9, season number 9. Frank went 72, 42, and 5, 94.9 units, and there is one of the champs. And yeah, Colby Ryan's gonna start feeling the pressure. In fact, here's another one of our champs. I saw their Alred one. Oh, no, I don't think he's ever won. No, there he is. SBP, the Phenom, he won last year. So a lot of our champions gunning for the top spot, and you can follow their picks each and every day right here at the World Series of Handicapping Pro Football Contest, and we are in season number 11. So congratulations to everybody who had a good week. And hey, we're just getting to the first quarter poll of the long NFL season, and the ATS calculator. Don't forget, you can make your picks, or you can follow the lines right here at atscalculator.com. Let's say for the Monday Night Football, you go to NFL, you go Denver against the Chargers, you go create the results, and survey says, believe it or not, I was a little surprised when I saw this, you had Denver winning tonight by 0.48, and the over-under landing on 43.29. I was wondering, how did Denver? It's because of their defense. Look at the defense, only giving up 17.2 on the calculator right here with the formula, right? So check it out, atscalculator.com, if you want to get the numbers, and it's a good tool to have for college basketball and the NCAAF. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and hopefully you're having a good start to your day. My name is Ron Raymond. I'm a 5-time sports handicapping champion based out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. I've been doing this since 1996. The first site I ever opened up was phoenixsports.com. The PST, I was affectionately called back in the day, and so during the process, I created many other websites, including atsstats.com. That's where I hang my hat, and this is where you get some of the top stats each and every day against the number, and hopefully we're helping you beat the number. In fact, speaking of the number, I called this weekend adjustment weekend. I had to make a little bit of an adjustment, and you know what? Any good handicapper out there, good better, when you're in this for the long run, you're not just a fly-by-night operation, and when you're not, when your system is not working the way you'd like it to be at the beginning, like, we all have our belief system, and there's always going to be some inconsistency and some adjustments, right? And to me, the best handicappers, the best bettors out there are the ones who can adjust to the market conditions, right? It's like the stock market. If you can adjust to the markets and tweak your system so you have a better understanding what's going on. And I'm going to get to that today in the SBI, the Sports Betting Index. I'm going to go inside the numbers and I'm going to show you guys some things that what helped me had a good weekend. In fact, when I look at my picks this weekend, I had Cleveland that was game number 2. That was a couple days on the 15th. But college football, or we'll start NHL. I went 3-0 on Saturday in my NHL best bets. Yesterday, I had Cincinnati. Remember, I love the Bengals. I said this was the tipping point game for the Bengals, right? This was the game where they could have been either, what was it, their record? 2-3 or something like that. Or if they lose this game, they were 2-4. Now they're, 3-3? So that was a tipping point game for the Bengals. I had the New York Jets as my upset special. Believe it or not, I took the New York football Jets, the Jets, Jets, as my upset special, and it was a nice winner. I also had Penn State, but I didn't realize how good the offensive line was for the Michigan Wolverines. That offensive line, that's not an offensive line, that's a wall. Hey, any coach out there, watch that game on Saturday. The offensive line for the Michigan Wolverines, when you can have 2 running backs rush for 160 yards, it's all offensive line. And I realized on Saturday how really great that offensive line is for the Michigan Wolverines. I had Arkansas as one of my top plays also, and Illinois, my other upset this weekend against Minnesota. So you can see all the W's right here. Had a pretty good weekend. Cashed a 5-team parlay. So yeah, I'm smiling like a butcher's dog this morning, and I'm pretty happy because it was a hey, you know what? 24-hour rule today. Today's the 24-hour rule for yours truly, Ron Raymond, because when you have a good weekend, like I had this weekend, you got to take the 24-hour rule, take it in effect, and enjoy those wins, because you never know when you're going to get that next big win, right? So hopefully you guys had a good weekend. Hopefully your picks were good, and I see the troops are filing into the bullpen. There's the Nature Boy. He's in the house. Yeah, Cash Out Monday. Yeah, hopefully it's a Cash Out Monday. And if you're tuning in for the very first time on the show, we every day we dubbed our shows. We have a theme for every show, and today's theme is always on Mondays. It's a Cash Out Monday. And if you're honest with yourself, and I'm going to ask you that question I do every Monday. When was the last time you cashed out of your sports book, your casino, wherever you're betting? And if you're honest with yourself, I can guarantee you 90% of the bettors never cash out. They're always putting money into their sports books, and they never know when to cash out. I've got a lot of great emails throughout the year on people on Monday realizing, you know what, you talk about these cash out Mondays, and I said, it's time to take some money out. So have a game plan on a Monday or a Tuesday, but make sure that you eventually cash out, especially if you're betting with house money. If let's say you put in $500 and you got your account up to say $1,200 or whatever, take that initial $500 out and play with the house money. As long as you cash out, and it always feels good, right? When you're cashing out and you're making money and you're not consistently making the books rich, right? So Cash Out Monday. Hopefully you guys
straight cash, homie.
Straight cash, homie. Hopefully you get that straight cash, and hopefully you guys made it this Cash Out Monday. All right, who's Mizzou's in the house? Good morning, Network. Mark Nations. Morning, everyone. Brent Vianney. Morning. We want winners. Yeah, we want winners.
I want winners.
I want winners too. I had winners this weekend, Brent. Hopefully you played my my picks this weekend, and taking 3 units out, adding 2 units to my betting fund, says the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. I don't know if it's Ric Flair, but I think it's my good friend John out there. Hey, Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills. Hey, that was what a great game. What a great game at Arrowhead. And when we finally secured that W at the end, I said, all right, this is it. That's the game where now that Buffalo, hopefully that's the game that clinches if they continue out. And I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse just yet. But hey, if you're gonna want to go to the Super Bowl, hopefully you have to go through Buffalo in January, and instead of Kansas City this year. It's always tough to win in Buffalo, right? Especially with the elements in December and in January. It should be a really fun time. But yeah, Josh Allen, what a super game he had yesterday. And That's a tough environment. When you can go to Arrowhead and beat Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and the defense played well for Kansas City. That was a big win for the Bills. And man, talk about a tough schedule for the Buffalo Bills right out of the gate, right? Game 1, you get the Super Bowl champs, which are, unfortunately for them this year, you can see that it's not the Super Bowl champs. But, Miami, you've had some tough games, and now Baltimore, and now, Kansas City. What a really tough schedule for the Bills. And now hopefully we get a little bit of cupcake games here, and it seems like they've been on the road a lot, so hey, it's always good when you get more home games, right? And coming down the stretch, maybe the Bills, I'll have to check out their schedule, but looking really good. All right, got a great show lined up for you guys here today. I'm going to go inside the numbers. I'm going to show you guys the SBI, the Sports Betting Index, and favorites and the point spread, perception versus reality. I always talk about that on the show, but before we do that, we always have to go to our fundamentals, right? Or EDDs. Hey, if any football players are out there, everybody knows what EDD stands for, your everyday drills. And these are your everyday drills here at the Raymond Report. And we're always talking about value percentage play, performance cycles, player availability, and we use a disciplined money management system. Today during the show, you're going to hear me talk about A, B, and C-type teams in the Raymond Report. A-type teams are teams with a 60 or higher win percentage. B-type teams are 50 to 59.9. And C-type teams are teams below 49.9%. And you know the golden rules. We don't like betting on C-type teams.
No, you don't do that.
You don't do that.
Oh, no, never.
Why not?
Why not?
Against the rules.
Against the rules to bet on C-type teams, unless it's beer and pizza money. Bullish, neutral, and bearish teams. I'm going to talk about that today. And the 10 commandments of sports betting. And where's my thunderstorm cloud right there? Hey, the 10 commandments of sports betting. Thou shalt not bet big money on C-type teams.
No, you don't do that.
Now, never lay points, take the points, or bet the money line or the over-under. Create your own number. That's a good thing to do these days because the number is out of whack. It's your number against the bookmaker's number. Follow a disciplined money management system. Hopefully you guys are doing that and you made it to a cash out Monday. Never force a pick because you need action on the game. That's probably one of the top ones.
No, you don't do that.
You don't do that.
Oh, no, never.
No. Never chase losing bets on a bad day or a Monday night football game. Bet with your wallet, not your heart. That's another big one too. NHL home favorites coming off a 1-goal loss. Now that the NHL is in season, I'm going to keep an eye out on those NHL home favorites coming off a 1-goal loss. It's been hitting 60% since 2011. So let's see if that gravy train continues. Never bet against A-type teams who are bullish at home.
No, you don't do that.
Yeah. And here's mine that I'm going to exercise today is the 24-hour rule of betting. Take a day off after a big, probably weekend, a big day or a big weekend. Enjoy the wins because you just never know when you're going to get that next big cash out. And never bet on teams who are in a bearish cycles.
No, you don't do that.
No, you don't do that. And because you want to wait for those teams to work out their hiccups, right? And the thing is with that rule number 10, when a team is in a slide, especially if it's an A or B type team, you are what your record says you are, and you know they're eventually going to get out of that cycle. So just wait it out, right? Well, weather the storm, as they say. All right. Oh, there's my good friend Gloria K is in the house.
Put that coffee down.
Coffees for closers, and our good friend Gloria K is the closer. Morning bullpen, rise and shine. I've missed everyone, the live shows, and we've missed you, Gloria. I know Gloria's been on the road probably with the golf, a golf caddy. She's been a caddy the last couple of weeks there on the road, but always good to see our good friend Gloria K in the house. And so Solo Rider, how you doing there, Solo Rider? Good morning, bullpen, and everybody's tuning into the Raymond Report, and hopefully you guys are having a good Monday morning. It's raining in the nation's capital. In fact, what's the weather today? 8 degrees. It's getting a little nippy here in the nation's capital. 8 degrees, overcast, but pretty soon, next thing you know, the old snowblower will be out, and then we'll be doing laneways. All right, so let's get on with the show, and as we always do here at the Raymond Report, we always go feed the ponies. How about them Seahawks, says Brent. Yeah. All right, they're at the post. Get your bets in. Yep, they're off and running today at Parks Racing in Pennsylvania. And in fact, the first race today at Parks is a $5,000 claiming race, 12:55 post time, 116 miles on the dirt. We are going to recommend 136 in race number 1 today at Parks Racing. The number 1 horse, Frisky Feeling, Gonzalez in the saddle on Frisky Feeling, 8-1 morning line. The number 3 horse, Valerie First, Barboza in the saddle on Valerie First, 5-1 morning line. And the 6 horse, Towson, with Wrangle in the saddle on the 6 horse, 8-5 morning line on Towson. 136 is what we recommend. And if you're going to play the Joker selection, that is our value play of the day. Canucci with Hernandez in the saddle on the 5 horse, Canucci at 5-2 morning line. And you know what? That's the horse I'm going to bet here today on the Double Dutch recommendation. And what that is, let's say you got a $20 budget, put 10 to win, 10 to place on the number 5 horse. Canucci comes in first, you get paid twice, comes in second, get paid once, which is also nice. And you can bet all the races today at Parks Racing just by following our tip sheet right here at atsstats.com. And today's tip sheet brought to you by your friends right here at atsstats.com. All right, nice little bugle right there, right? In fact, it reminded me of my when I was in the military. Oh, here's story time with Ron again. So when I was in the military, I went to Cornwallis. It was our basic training camp in 1990. Hey, everybody been to Nova Scotia in was it June? Yeah, beautiful time of year if you're in Nova Scotia. Anyway, we had a recruit. He was from Winnipeg, and he was going into he was in Air Force, but he was going into the band. Hey, and once the one of our sergeant majors found out that he was going into the band, the Air Force band, he said, all right, that's it. You are now the bugle boy of Company C. And that was our company, right? So every morning when we woke up, it was 5:30. He had to wake us up with the bugle. And it was, Davis, Jeff Davis. That was fun. That was a good, so every time he'd have to get up and do the bugle every morning. And that's how we woke up to his bugle. So every time I see the word bugle, I think of my good friend from Winnipeg right there. Hey, bugle boy. That was his nickname we gave him there at the troop. Hey, the bugle boy, and he woke us up every morning. And now you know the rest of the story from Paul Harvey. All right, let's get on with the show. And let me see here. What do we got next on deck? We got the horse race, the market watch. All right, here's the fun part. So what I did this morning, hey?
Money never sleeps, pal.
Yeah, money never sleeps,
Just
pal.
made 800,000 Hong Kong gold.
Yeah, money never sleeps, and favorites are favorites are sleeping though, because the underdogs are cashing in all the money. Now, what I did this week, actually I did it right before the show because I was really intrigued by the lack of favorites winning this year, right? And going into this weekend, and on the football show I did Friday, I gave you guys some pretty good some picks right there, right? I said I'm going to concentrate on a lot of underdogs and a lot of uncomfortable picks. How many times do I come on the show here today or during the year and I say, guys, you're going to go into a weekend where you're probably not going to like the pick, and it's going to go against all reasoning and all the feeling you have that I'm on the favorite should win, but it's the confidence level, it's the trust factor that you have on that team, right? And I saw 3 of them that I gave out: Atlanta, Giants, and the Jets, right? I said, you know what? It defies all logic. I just don't understand. But at the end of the day, we're going through a period of cycling. The thing we do, and we're guilty of it as sports bettors, is we go back to our memory data bank and we say, oh, it's Aaron Rodgers. Come on. It's they're going to win. They're at Lambeau. They're going to beat the Jets. But, there's an evolution that happens, and, it's like the stock market. Everything goes up, must come down. And right now, some of the high quality stocks in the sports NFL are coming down a bit. But what I want to show you right now is right here. So I wanted to see the difference. And think about this. We're thinking us as sports bettors, okay, and the bookmaker. What's the bookmaker's job, right? The bookmaker's job is to put a number, and then we got to beat that number. But the thing is, when he puts out the favorite number, he's giving us, in his opinion, who's going to win the game straight up, right? When you look at it in that aspect, you're saying, okay, the bookmaker has, this weekend, the Green Bay Packers winning by 7.5. So they're telling you right away. So, if you're ever doing a pool, like a bookmaker's pool, they're telling you who their picks are in the pool, right? They're telling you who's going to win straight up when you think about it that way. Now, what I like to do is I like to look at the year to date average. 59% of the favorites have won straight up so far, but only covered 43%. That's a 15.6% difference from reality to perception, right? When you think about the perception, because when the reality is the favorites are winning 59% of their games, but they're only covering 43.4. Now, I was thinking, okay, what about the other sports? How about the other sports? And what I did is I went to look at Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball favorites, 59%. I said, that's pretty interesting. That's the same number as the NFL. All right. How about NHL? No, call it CFL. We'll do CFL. So far this year in the CFL, 68.9% of the favorites. So that's like a 9% difference when you consider it from the Major League Baseball and the NFL. And what about NHL, college football? College football is ridiculous. 75.6% of college football teams winning straight up, but only covering 46.8%, and that's a difference of 28%. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at the favorites winning straight up, and I'm comparing the point spread to see the margin of I don't know if you want to call it the margin of error or the margin of just the point spread difference, right? And when I look at the CFL, 68. Well, you know what? Here, let me just bring it up right here and show you. Show and tell day. Hey, instead of me just telling, I'm visual, and I'm sure you guys are too, right? All right, so look at the CFL. 68.9% of the favorites, only covering 51.8. That's a big difference right there. College football. Let's go to college football, right? Let's go to college football and think about perception versus reality. I say it like 10,000 times on the show. 75.6% of college football favorites winning this year, and they're only covering 46.8. That's a difference of 28.2%. Now I'm doing all the difference of the NFL, CFL, all the spread sports. NFL so far this year, if you look at the NFL favorites. Oh, not NHL, wrong league there, Ron. Come on, wake up, stop enjoying your weekend here. All right, it's 59%, but only covering 43.4%, below 50%, right? So that's a difference of 15.6. So what I'm doing is, in the NHL, here's the thing with the NHL favorites are winning 75.9% of the games. And I'll tell you from my experience in the NHL, and I do this every year, and I've been doing this 26 years. Every time I start off so hot in the NHL, and I catch myself every year going, wow, I can't believe like how the favorites always go on a tear right at the beginning, and then there hits the what I call the tipping point, where it's slowly the adjustment point. Maybe the tipping point is not a good word. The adjustment point where, like the stock market, what goes up, has to come back down. But we are in a very high favorite ratio right here. 75.9% of favorites in the NHL and winning. Now, think about this. You're thinking about Major League Baseball and you're thinking about the NHL. What do they have in common? They're two sports who don't have spread sports, right? It's not like, you're covering the spread unless in the puck line, but it's money line sports. When you're betting NHL and Major League Baseball, it's two money line sports. And when you think about it this way, Major League Baseball teams this year, favorites 59%, NHL so far this year, 75.9%. So that's what, a 24% difference. So you can see where I'm going with this. If you are betting NHL, just be careful that knowing that eventually we're going to get to that 59-60%. Mark my words. Remind me. I need the moderators to remind me in 1 month from now. So on November 17th, let's take a look where the favorites are in the NHL. And dollars to donuts, I guarantee you that they'll be close to that 59-60%, maybe 64. But, once we get more closer to December, you're going to see at the end of the year, we're going to be in that 59 to 60 area range. All right. I wanted to show you guys that. In fact, before I get off that topic, I know I get on these topics and I just go like a dog in a bone. Look at the NFL. I want to show you something. So, and here's what, what made me adjust my adjustments this weekend was like, okay, you know what? This is the underdogs. And the thing with underdogs is once you start betting them, you know, because or you're betting favorites and you're seeing all the underdogs come in, you say this is not going to last forever. But so far this year, when you look at all the point spread and against the point spread and you compare the favorites on week 1 to the point spread, you're looking at a 50. Let me see here, 50 week 1, a 12.5% difference. So 62.5% winning straight up, only covering 50%. 62.5 in week 2. Covering 43.8, and what I'm doing is I'm showing you guys the favorites, right? The favorites and what they're doing against the point spread. Week 3, the only week that the favorites didn't have a great week, but it's been a dog year, right? 43.8. I say it's been a dog year, but the favorites are winning on a pretty consistent race basis, but they're not covering the spread on a consistent basis, right? So look at that, 43.8. 31.3 in week number 3, 68.8 on week number 4, 50%, 62.5, 31.3, and then 53.8, and then 53.8. That to me, it's even Steven with 1 game pending tonight, right? So when you look at the point spread and you look at the favorites, it's been a neutral market for the point spread, but it hasn't been a bullish market for the point spread for the favorites, right? Favorites have yet to have a bullish season this year, a bullish week this year. And what I mean by bullish, I'm talking about 57.2% or higher. And you can see right now that the favorites have yet to have a bullish week. It's been all underdogs. And if you look at the difference on the ratio from week 5 to the other weeks, 31% difference when you look at this ratio right here. 62.5% in week 5, 31.3, and this is why I think we had a no, you know what? I wouldn't say we had a better, like a reversal, but it's a continuance. Maybe that's the better word. It's a continuance of the underdog. But the thing is, and this is where my mind works, where I say, okay, what goes up must come down. This cannot continue forever, and then it just, but whenever the underdogs are coming in at such a high rate, the only thing you can really control, you can't control when the favorites are going to win. You can't control the underdogs are going to continue. What's the only thing you can control? It is the money that you're going to put in each and every week. If you know that the underdogs are winning and winning and winning, and you know that in the back of your mind, you're saying, okay, there's going to be a reversal at one point. There has to be some type of reversal, but it's gambling. When you're in sports betting, you're sports gambling. This is what you signed up for, right? So be careful out there. The only thing I can do and say is that when the underdogs are just winning like this, again, the only thing you can really control is the amount of units that you wager. And if you believe, is the one thing that inconsistency. It's when you're handicapping the NFL this year, and how do you handicap the inconsistency of play of all the teams in the NFL, right? When you look at all the NFL teams this year, and let me bring out the record. I know this segment's a pretty long one here, but you know what? I think it's worth to talk about because I think there's some value into this awareness. Yeah, that's probably the best word, awareness, right? When you look at these teams right here, compare look at the Eagles, 5-0 straight up, 3-2 against the point spread. Dallas, 4-1, 4-1. Minnesota, look at that. That's the interesting part here. 4-1, but 1-4 against the point spread. Kansas City, 4-1, 2-3 against the number. The New York Giants, 4-1, 4-1. Buffalo, 4-1, 3-2. San Francisco, 3-2, 3-2. Miami, 3-2, 3-2. Packers, 3-2, 2-3. So a lot of the inconsistent play, look, you don't see a lot of teams. It's normally at this point of the year, it's week 6. You get about 2-3 teams who are 5-0, but no, not this year. Only one team, but you got a lot of 4-1s, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams are 4-1, and then the rest. Pretty much at 60% or lower. And that's the inconsistency that I'm talking about. When you look at not even the top 10, we don't have 4-1 records in the top 10, all the top 10 teams. 3-2. That when I see 3-2, and how many teams in the NFL? 32. So 25 teams in the National Football League have a record of 3-2 or worse. That's that's the inconsistency or the parity. Maybe that's the better word, is the parity of the league this year. All right, let me see here. Juicebox, that's why we love you, Ronnie. Right on, Juicebox. I love you too, buddy. Dogs came in yesterday. NFL, definitely worth it, coach. And 65%. I like the odds. And let's get the money. Page 8. Teams that lose 3 or more games, 2 scoring or less goals, and okay, that's a mouthful there, Elliot. Teams that lose 3 or more games, scoring 2 or less goals in those 3 losses, win the next game with a high percentage at a 65% clip, says Elliot V. All right, feeling good. Yesterday was fun, says Pele J. Yeah, when you're winning, those dopamines kick in, and it's really good. Vladimir likes Dallas Stars, Penguins, and Red Wings on the money line. Thank you, Vladimir, for those picks. The Nature Boy, MLB, all teams with winning records almost out of the playoffs. Yeah, you know what? It's true. And see, again, when you look at Major League Baseball this year, hey, let me go to Major League Baseball, and I know, you know what, I know we're a little bit off track here, and we're probably putting the cart in front of the horse, but when you look at the A-type teams in Major League Baseball, Yankees, you know, they do or die tonight, Atlanta's out, Mets are out, Houston's still in, Dodgers are out. Of the 5 teams, depending what happens to the Yankees, you might be just looking at Houston, and that's it. Hey, if the Yankees lose tonight, that's good night, Irene. That's all she wrote. And look at the teams that are still in. You know, San Diego. But these are the home and loss record. Okay, yeah, the home and loss. So let me go back to my team standings. So you look at the Major League Baseball. But this is good for baseball. I think, you know, as much as probably the networks don't want to hear this, because the networks want the Yankees and the Dodgers every year so they can get their advertising money. But this is good for small market teams, you know, cities. And you look at the teams that are in the, you know, Cleveland's still in. San Diego, 94-75, a B-type team. St. Louis, Toronto, Philadelphia, scrappy. Hey, that's the best word for these guys. The Philadelphia scrappy Phillies, 91-76. And who else is in there? That's it, eh? All right, so yeah, we got some fun times right now in Major League Baseball, right? Some really good action. All right, that was the SBI, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that segment. And again, it's if you're in this for the long run, just understand that these are the type of seasons. I wish I had more data from the past years that I kept the SBI. And when the thing I would really love to see, maybe I'll do it today. I can do it later on, but I got to go manually into the database and go get the numbers. I want to see. I would love to have seen the last 5 years, the percentage of the favorites winning through 6 weeks and what the point spread percentage was, right? And it's one of those years this year where analytics, and this is where, you know, I know we're ATS stats and we're all about analytics, but this is why I keep talking about situational handicapping. Sometimes you have to put a percentage to your analytics, right? And that's the one thing I've learned in sports betting. You can only put analytics to a certain extent, right? My ratio was normally 60-30-10, right? 60% analytics, 30% the situational, and then 10% gut feeling, right? That's my mindset when I'm handicapping sports. But this year in the NFL, I think the analytics is like 40% analytics, 50% situational handicapping, and then 10% gut feeling. It's how you percentage play that analytics with the situational handicapping. There's your margin of errors that you got to tweak to have a winning week. And I think that's a pretty good way to sum it up, right? And I'll just repeat that. The way I do it is that I have a 3-way thinking, right? I got analytics, situational handicapping, and then gut feeling, right? Your sports gut, or a scout report, right? Your eyes are your scouts. And this year, I think in the NFL, when you're doing your handicapping, I think it's 40-50-10, or it could be 40-40-20. I don't know. To find that perfect margin, that's what you got to do to have a successful week. Because if you only depend on analytics, you know, sometimes I just showed you the proof, right? And analytics gear more towards favorites, and you got to make your adjustments so that you can have a higher win percentage when it comes to the point spread. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that segment.
Holy cow!
Holy cow, that was long, eh? Hey, I hear you, Harry. I hear you. All right, let's get on with the show, and let's get to the Bears and Bulls report. And the Bears and Bulls report brought to you by Bears and Bulls here at atsstats.com. All right, let's take a look. This was Major League Baseball. Okay, yeah, I know what I want to show you guys. Yeah, you know what? This is what I love about the weekend, right? The weekend, you're relaxing. You're thinking about things on the weekend, and you're saying, what can I bring to the show? You know, the show's missing something. It's missing more of these off the cusp, rants, right? I don't want to be too structured in following a schedule because then I put you guys to sleep. But what I like it is that when I look at this weekend, and I'm looking at the NHL, and I told you guys, right? The NHL, at the beginning of the NHL, you're going to see the first 2-3 weeks, favorites win at, I showed you, 75%. And I was saying, okay, you know how you make money in sports betting? And this was probably one of my best seasons betting baseball. I hit 57% in baseball, and I picked every game on the board. If you go to bullpenpicks.com, and if you look at my record, I hit over 57%, and so did Dom and Nart 55. Those guys had a phenomenal year, and I tip my hat off to those guys. That was awesome. It was a fun baseball year, right? And I'm saying, why did I have so much success betting baseball this year? And you know what I boiled it down to? And this is probably a caramel secret I probably shouldn't share, but I'm going to share it anyways because that's what we do here on the Raymond Report. If you want to make money in sports betting, number one, don't bet on C-type teams. Don't bet on C-type teams, right? Because C-type teams are like an old high school sweetheart. They're going to break your heart. You bet on C-type teams, you get what you deserve. Hey, Bill Parcells, you are what your record says you are. Now, here's the thing. Why did I have a really good, successful season betting baseball? Is because I focused on about 3 to 5 teams. When you focus on 3 to 5 teams and you pick your cycles betting those teams, you will see you'll have a more successful season like I did. And the thing that I loved about it, and you're probably saying, well, Ron, some of those picks you gave out this year were pretty high in price. Yeah, they were. You know what? But this is where I'm getting at. Remember I told you guys this year, I said, what's more important, the price or the win percentage? Hey, what does Bill Parcells says? You are what your record says you are. And if you're a C-type team, well, guess what? You're not a very good team. But what I did this year, if you followed my picks in the members area, what did I bet a lot on this year? I know you guys are laughing because I'm going to say Tampa Bay right off the hop. My wife jokes about that all the time. She goes, let me guess, you got Tampa Bay today. Yeah, but you know why? Look at the average price of the Tampa Bay Rays this year, minus 124. Did I bet a lot of White Sox? No. Did I bet a lot of San Fran? Maybe at the beginning, but I laid off. Baltimore, I bet a lot of Baltimore in August. Tampa Bay, they were my bread and butter. Milwaukee, no, I didn't bet a lot of Milwaukee. Philly, no. Seattle, I bet a lot of Seattle. Toronto, yeah, I bet a lot of the Toronto games. San Diego, sporadic. St. Louis, yeah, I did bet some Seattle games. Cleveland, some Cleveland. Yankees. The Yankees, it was back and forth all year because I didn't like some of the price, and I didn't touch them in August because I had a horrible August. Atlanta, I bet Atlanta more towards the end of the year. The New York Mets, mostly at the beginning of the year. Houston, yep, I bet a lot of Houston, but I didn't bet a lot of Dodgers because look at the price. The average price on the Dodgers was minus 196. So, bottom line, how did I make a lot of money in betting baseball this year? I focused on about three to 5 teams, and those teams, I just never got off them. And you know why? Because they always had pretty good value. Hey, what's the number one rule of the Raymond Report? Value percentage play. That's the number one. When you want to make money in sports betting, that's the golden rule. Value. Tampa Bay was valued at about minus 124 all year. Winning percentage. Even though their winning percentage here, this includes playoffs, but they had a pretty good year, right? 86 and 78, a B-type team. And who else had a pretty good year? Toronto made minus 151. San Diego minus 109. If you bet the Padres a lot this year, you got some great value. So when you hear people say, "Oh, I don't believe in value," yeah, I believe in value. I believe in value. I believe in averages, and I believe in the percentage play. And if you follow my baseball picks, you did all right. And this is why when you're going to bet NHL this year, focus on 3 to 5 teams. And this is a pretty good tip that I'm going to give you guys here. If you focus on 3 to 5 teams and you come each day and you look at the DMVI, the Daily Market Value Index, and you see what the average price is on that team, you will make some money. Like I told you guys earlier, I like Detroit this year. I'm going to be looking at Detroit. I love them tonight. But look at the value so far, minus 110. So when you come to the website, go to the Bears and Bulls report, look at these A's and B-type teams, go to the DMVI, and try to stay within, the range. But again, you're not going to get Microsoft, you're not going to get Apple, you're not going to get Tesla at 17 cents. They're not penny stocks. They are investment stocks. And if you want to invest in money and make money betting sports, the price is what the price is. And what's more important, the price or the percentage play? But I'm not going to say lay $300, $400, right? I'm not going to get crazy. Hey, let's not talk stupid here. Hey, no, this is real talk, not stupid talk, right? So anyways, focus on 3 to 5 teams into the A's and the B's, and look at the daily market value index to see where the value lies. And always remember, I feel like, I know it's a cash out Monday, but I feel like it's a betting tip Monday. Always remember, the best bet you make sometimes is the one you don't make. And what I mean by that is that you're going to sit there some days and you're going to say, you know what, I don't feel it today. I don't like this team. Everybody's been winning too much, or this team's been losing too much. And this is why I talk about cycles all the time. If you can bet into cycles and you can find cycles, and this is why I talk about bullish, neutral, and bearish cycles. This is why, to me, the neutral cycle, that's where you find the gravy train right there. If you find teams in a neutral cycle, an A and B type team, who's going to have a better chance of winning their next game if they're in a neutral cycle? An A, B, or C? And you know what the answer is there. All right, that is the Bears and Bulls report. And wow, hey, this is a pretty heavy day here on a Monday. Hey, I'm thinking a nice steakhouse for sure. Baltimore was good to me early this year. Yep. Treat each other. I made my new $300 on her first bet on FanDuel. I suggest she take us out to dinner. Says Elliot V. Loved it. Parlay J, great advice, but not applied to degenerates. Great advice, but it doesn't apply to degenerates. Well, here's the thing. Hopefully the degenerates are watching the show and they're learning, and they're not degenerates anymore, right? They're investors. And this is where one of my, you got to ask yourself, are you a sports bettor or a sports investor? If you're a sports investor, you're in this for the long run. You're going to be disciplined. You're going to pick your spots. But if you're a sports junkie and you're action junkie, well, just write the check to Ron Raymond now and just give it to me now, because you're going to lose your shirt come the long run. All right, great advice. Morning, Isaiah. There's Isaiah Moore. All right, so hey, what do you guys think of that segment? If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and leave a comment, especially if you're watching on the replay. People who are watching on the replay, don't get to see the show live. Love to hear your comments, and gave you guys a good tip right there. That's one of the tips. Sometimes you don't share a lot of things as a professional, and I'm sharing with you guys that, to me, one of my biggest tips is 3 to 5 teams. You focus on 3 to 5 teams, and you will make money in the long run. All right, let's get to your Monday Night Football game of the week between the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers. Are you guys still involved in any of the suicide pools? All right, the what are they called? The survivor pools. I still got one ticket left. Believe it or not, I still got one ticket left, and I think we're down to like a couple hundred people out of 10,000 or 16,000 at one of the books that I use. So hey, I got the Chargers tonight. I'm using the Chargers as one of my survivor plays, and still lucky to be in that survivor pool. Hey, I know some guys, hey, thanks for coming out. Pick up the nice steak nice at the door. But yeah, week 1 was pretty tough on a lot of people. Week 2, week 3, week 4. Hey, all the favorites. Imagine how many people lost yesterday because they took Green Bay or Tampa Bay, right? All right, let's get to your survivor. No, not survivor, but your Monday Night Football game between the Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers. Spend time figuring out who is best to invest in. Spend time figuring out who's the best to invest in. Yeah, hey, that's exactly what we just talked about, right? 3 to 5 teams. Find those 3 to 5 teams, and pick the cycles, and think about it. If you're betting on those A and B type teams, and they're coming off 2 losses, who's going to win their next game off a 2-3 game losing streak if they're an A or B type, A, B, or C type team, right? The A's and the B's are going to win much quicker than the C-type team. All right, so tonight we got the Chargers taking on the Denver Broncos, and there's no cooking in Denver these days. Hey, no. There was cooking in Seattle yesterday, but it wasn't Russ. Not Arizona. Wow. Talk about a team that just can't find any identity right now. There's no identity. Like when I look at football teams, I say, what's the identity of this football team? Is it the offensive line? Is it the quarterback? Is it the running game? Is it the defense? There's just no identity right now in Arizona. All right, the Chargers, a 4.5 point favorite. 45.5 is the total. I love the Chargers tonight. It's one of my strongest plays. 25.8, 19.05. And the thing with these Monday night isolation games, and especially with a team like Denver's 2-3, 1-4 against the point spread, there's always the belief system, especially from the fan base. Okay, tonight's the night we're going to turn it around, right? We're going to turn it around. And normally these type of teams, they rarely, there's no switch in the locker room that says, all right, Super Bowl contender switch activated. It doesn't work like that. It's just it is what it is. And whenever you have a new players coming into a new system, a new environment, it takes time. It takes time to build out that. It's just like I said. There's no switch in the coach's room that says, all right, Super Bowl winning team activated. All right, here we go. Put on our Superman capes and let's go get that W tonight. That doesn't work like that. Chargers. Here's another inconsistent team too, right? 3-2, 2-3. The 73.5 win percentage tonight on the LA Chargers. My line on the game, I had both teams in the plus minus. Look at that. Plus the category. Plus 4.2, plus 1.6. So not very good value when it comes to picking games here tonight between these two teams on the price tag. That's why I think if you're going to take Chargers, what's the money line on it? I don't know what the money line is. Probably like 220 or something like that. But, I like the Chargers. I just... I like the Chargers tonight. What's the line? 24.5, and I got them winning by 6. So yeah, I do like LA. But one of my golden rules, right? If I do like the team, I like the money line and bet. In fact, let me go see what the money line is on this game. Money line on the game here tonight. I'll give you a good, one thing I wasn't really big on this year. Remember I told you guys live in-game betting? I wasn't, and it's because I'm not, to me, it's about resources and live in-game betting. And especially for an old school handicapper like me, who's just used to the fundamentals of betting, and then when you start doing props and live, I need time to really understand it. I need time to get a feel for it. I need time to see how you get burnt by it too, right? And this weekend, I had to, going into yesterday's game, I know a little off topic here, but I think it's a good way to share knowledge, is that I had a 16 parlay. 6 or 7, I can't remember. Anyways, the first 5 teams won, and then I had the Phillies on the night game to win the money line, and I had Arizona. And when I saw Arizona was down at halftime, I said, you know what? Here's the thing. And it was just, I think it was like a $50 parlay, and it paid out, $25 parlay, and it paid out like $700. I said, okay, I've got the first 5 legs in. I'm losing this game. I don't see any much hope of Arizona coming back in this game. What if then the live line at the time was minus 220. And I said, okay, if I buy minus 220, I'll make $100. It's better. I'll make some money off it, at least something out of that 17, because the Phillies won at night, but you don't know that, right? You don't know that until you're betting the Arizona game. So I put a 220 on to win 100, and to me it's like Arizona lost, and I was like, wow, okay, I guess I do like live in-game betting or an adjustment bet, right? So I went from potentially winning 700 or losing was it 25 or 50? I can't remember what the actual. Let me see here, history. Let me go back to my history last week. Sunday. Yeah, it was a 16 parlay. Yeah, $25 to win 701. So I decided, you know what? Okay, let's do a live in game minus 220. I think the score at the time was like 10-3 or something like that, or 10. I can't remember. They were down by a touchdown, and then thank God I got it at the time it did, because throughout the game it was like minus 400, minus 500, and I said, all right. But I went from probably potentially losing winning nothing, losing $25 to making 100 and something, right? So it was a pretty good. It was pretty good. So yeah, that's my experience of live in-game betting. So if you do have it's a great hedge, right? It's a great hedge opportunity. So when you do have these 5-team parlays, and that parlay that I had yesterday, let me just show you guys who I had. So I had Cincinnati money line, Indy money line, New England money line, the Jets plus 5.5, Arizona minus 140, and the Eagles money line. So it was a 16 parlay, right? So by having that live in-game betting, it allowed me to make a little bit of a profit, right? Hey, you ever have those weekends where it's just like, man, it's like the Midas touch type weekend, right? But then I had those other weekends where you just want to mail it in and quit betting altogether. It's that's why maybe I have a little bounce in my step this weekend. Winning, I tell you, man, winning kicks in the dopamines. There's no better thing. If you're a competitive person, you play sports, you coach sports, winning is very contagious. It's addicting too. So is losing. All right, where was I? Oh yeah, Monday Night Football. Ronnie's all over the place here today, but that's okay. It's a cash out Monday, and we're in a great mood. Hopefully you guys are in a good mood.
It's a dog-eat-dog world, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear.
Yeah, milk-bone underwear is for the dog players this weekend. All right, Chargers, let's see, the last 10. You know what? Denver 6-4 against the Chargers in LA last 10. And Chargers got the Patriots on deck, where Denver's going to Cleveland. Hey, Cleveland, I don't know what's going on with Cleveland these days, but I do like the Chargers. Oh, yeah, I want to see what the money line was on this game. And let's go here. NFL survey says... money line minus 214. You know what? It is what it is, right? I do like the Chargers tonight. Money line a little bit expensive, but the thing is with money line, it's like Bitcoin. You can buy it in fractions, right? You don't need to buy a full unit for the Chargers. If you just want to put $50, then you'll win whatever it is. All right, hey, that's another thing for another show, right? Fractional betting. You don't need to buy the full unit, but yeah. All right, let me see here. So I do like the Chargers here tonight. I don't know what you guys like. I got a 26.9% chance of winning here on the Broncos. The only thing I don't like is the calculator. The ATS calculator does like the Broncos here. I don't like that. That kind of, but that's because it's all defense, right? The defense has stood on its head. All right, let's get to the NHL, the National Hockey League, and let's take a look at who's on deck here tonight. And I'll go to my dashboard. All right, I like the cash out offers. Definitely, says Pele J. If you parlay on FanDuel, they offer you money when your last game of the parlay. So what's that? So if you parlay on FanDuel, they offer money when you're on your last game of the parlay. I don't understand what that means. If you parlay on FanDuel, they offer you money when you're on your last game. Oh, you mean you can? Oh, you mean they can? They'll pay you out now instead of like if you. So let's say you're a 16 parlay and it pays 10,000 and your first 5, and if you take that money, that first 5, they say it pays out 3,000. That's what they'll give you, 3,000 instead of 10. Is that what you're trying to say? To each his own. Juice parlay. I make great money with little risk. I like the cash out offers. I cashed out 160 on a parlay last leg. Okay. I hear what you're saying. All right, let's go to NHL, the National Hockey League, the Bettman Circuit. Let's see what we got on deck here tonight. Pretty good weekend. Hey, 11-3 on Saturday, 4-0 on Friday. But again, I'm always off to these great hot starts. That's because all the favorites win until the books make their adjustments, and teams eventually, they start going the other way. Teams can't go 65-0, right? All right, let's go to game number 1. We got the Anaheim Ducks coming east to take on the New York Rangers. Rangers are going to be tough to beat at home this year. I know they had a clunker there in Winnipeg. Winnipeg beat them 4-1. The Ducks losing 7-1. They got spanked by the Islanders. I do like the Rangers here today. A little expensive though, minus 240. Rangers where you want to go there. Game of the night will be in Beantown between the Bruins and the Panthers. Looking at Florida, minus 135. 6.5 is the total. Pretty good goaltending duel here between Bobrovsky and Allmark. You probably most likely will see Allmark in net. And was it Jim Montgomery, the new head coach of the Boston Bruins? He's off to a 2-0 start. And you know what? Yeah, 2-0 on the road, but Arizona, keep it in perspective, where Florida beat the Buffalo Sabres 4-3. Big win for the Panthers. I kind of like Boston here tonight. I kind of like Boston, but I think Florida's been on the road for a couple of straight here, 2 straight, and now they're taking on the Boston Bruins. I'm kind of leaning towards the Bees in this one. This minus 525. Let's get to the next one. Toronto taking on the Arizona Coyotes. Coyotes are a mess. Hey, they can't even get the rink right. It's just a mess. Florida, Vancouver taking on the Washington Capitals. This will be a great matchup here tonight at the Capital One Arena. You got Washington most likely going to go in nets with, let me see, Darcy Kemper against Thatcher Demko of the Vancouver Canucks. Canucks off a 3-2 loss. This is a tough loss for the Canucks. They were up 2-0 in the first period. Hey, did I tell you guys before? I'll use the Don Cherry line. 2-0, worst lead in hockey. Hey, if you're watching a hockey game, there's a 2-0 lead, turn off the TV because it's the worst lead in hockey. Washington minus 140. I do like. You know what? This is going to be a coin flip. I'm going to need more time on this one. I got a little. Boudreau's a good coach. Going back to his old haunting grounds right here. Washington, Laviolette. I got to go into it a little bit more. Kings taking on the Red Wings. Love Detroit here. I think this is the sucker line of the night. I think Detroit should be the favorite, not LA. I'm going to go with Detroit in this one. I love, I told you guys, I think Detroit's going to be, I saw a great sign on the weekend on Detroit when they, I don't know, it was a Friday night against the Habs when they beat them. Anyway, it says, we believe in Yzerman's plan. I believe it too. I really believe Stevie Yzerman's got this team going in the right direction. The pieces of the puzzle are there. The pieces are there. The goaltending's there. I love Husso. I love Nedeljkovic. Good goaltending duo. They just got to make the playoffs. We'll make some money with our hedging opportunities. Pittsburgh taking on the Montreal Canadiens. Now, big line. This is another big line. This reminds me of the Leafs in Game 1 against the Habs opening night. Minus 250. That's a little bit tad high for a Penguins team who's getting a little bit old in the teeth. A little old in the tooth, as they say. Minus 250. That's way too much. If you're going to play this one, take the Habs plus 1.5 goal. Colorado taking on Minnesota. I don't know. Fleury is just not looking like Fleury. Like, hey, Fleury's getting old. Let's not tie to anything. Yeah, Fleury's looking old, and Colorado. Tough loss against the Flames, but on the road in Calgary. Calgary always a tough barn to play in. I'm gonna go Colorado here until Minnesota shows me they can start playing defense. Winnipeg taking on the Dallas Stars. Dallas minus 145. Oettinger. I love Oettinger. You know what? Oettinger for the Vezina. If you can get him at good money, you might want to look at that. He's a really good goaltender. Against Hellebuck tonight in Winnipeg. This could be an unders game too. I do like Dallas in this one. Carolina taking on Seattle. Give me the Canes. No, that's a line mistake. Minus 185 should be for Carolina. So give me Carolina tonight against the Seattle Kraken. All right. Also, Major League Baseball, game number 5 tonight between the Yankees and the Cavaliers. The Guardians. Hey, NBA season right around the corner. Minus 150, 7.5 is the total. Yankees at home, and they're going to send Jameson Taillon. One thing with Jameson, he doesn't walk a lot of batters. He knows where the strike zone is. And then for Guardians, you're going with Aaron Savali. I think you got to go with the Bombers here. I think Yankees get the job done. All right, let me see here. Let's get to the trends are your friends, but not a lot of trends here today. Not a lot of trends, but we always like to hear AI.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Practice, man. I mean, how silly is that?
Yeah, how silly is the 80% club stats today in Major League Baseball? Well, it's only a couple of them. In fact, when I looked this morning, it was like 4 of them or something like that. Yeah. Yankees 11-2 as a 140-160 home favorite when the total is 7-8 the last 5 years. So if you like the Yankees, if you like the Yankees tonight, that's a pretty good line right there.
Hello again, everybody. Harry Carey from Wrigley Field on a beautiful day for baseball.
Yeah, beautiful day for baseball. That's why I played the Harry Carey sign right there. The under, 16-3-1 for the Guardians as a 120-140 road underdog when the total 7-8 the last 7 years. And that's your 80% club stats today, 4 a.m. cash out Monday, October 17th. All right, heavy show today, A little bit of heavy, little Ron's rant, but information, education. Education is the key. Education is the key to all success. When you think about it, education is the key to all successful ventures. And if you're educated and you're making your pick and you're making an educated pick and you're learning, that's the name of the game right there. Learning is a great thing to do. All right, Block Alexander, off-white cast, can't do anything. I like the under 2 on the Yankee game. Suck in the power play. Well, they suck in the power play, says Brent. And so hopefully you guys enjoyed the show today. It was always fun to bring this on a cash out Monday. Hopefully you guys are cashing out.
What the hell is that?
That's about making money. That's all about. That's what that's all about. All right, let me see here. What else we got? Yep. If you're interested also in my picks at hockeypicks.com, sign up today and follow other great pickers right here at hockeypicks.com. All right, have yourself a great rest of your Cash Out Monday. I'll be back on a Ruby Tuesday to bring you more pearls here at the the jewelry box. No, I don't like that. Doesn't sound too cool, eh? The jewelry box, more pearls in the jewelry box, but we'll bring you more pearls. Hey, baby, show them the pearls. All right, folks, have yourself a great rest of your day, and as always, shop for value, play those percentages. I'll see you back here on a Ruby Tuesday. Lights out.
Hello again, everybody. Harry Carey from Wrigley Field on a beautiful day for baseball.
To be the man! You gotta beat the man! Woo!
Owns. I don't know.
Struggling. Can we have fun? You're damn right. I demand that we have fun.
Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only.
Straight cash, homie.
Holy cow!
It's a dog-eat-dog world, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear.
What the hell's going on out here? Woo! If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
That's the bottom line, cause Stone Cold said so.
Let's go to eat a goddamn snack.